Good day and welcome to Top Stories on Ogama TV. First, the headlines. In Enugu State, kidnappers of St. Joseph Catholic Church worshippers in Oyi-Afa arrested as victims regain freedom. NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi and running mate Rabiu Kwankwaso meet with governorship candidates ahead of the 2027 elections. ASU gives 20 universities 14-day ultimatum over non-implementation of 2025 agreement with federal government. And on business, NEC dissolves Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company Board, appoints interim management team. On the foreign scene, United States revokes more than 175,000 visas following continued vetting of foreign nationals. Bringing you the news is Chidiogo Asuke. Now the news in details. The kidnappers of members of St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Oyi-Afa in Udi local government area of Enugu State have been apprehended, while the abducted victims have regained their freedom. 3 suspects were paraded before newsmen at the state headquarters of the Department of State Services (DSS) following their arrest. Another suspect reportedly died during an encounter with joint security forces. Addressing journalists, the Enugu State Secretary to the state government, Professor Chidiebere Onya, disclosed that the kidnapped victims had regained their freedom. He also said the marked ransom money used as bait during the rescue operations was fully recovered. According to the SSG, the victims had earlier identified the arrested suspects as members of the group responsible for their abduction. The development had further highlighted the impact of the Enugu State government's investment in security infrastructure, including command and control systems, surveillance cameras, drones, and other technology-driven security measures. Professor Onya said the administration remains committed to ensuring that criminals have no safe havens in the state.
It's not safe for anybody that decides that criminality will be an endeavor, that criminality will be a business. Enugu State is not the place for them to live. His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubisimba in May 2023 was very clear when he said that if criminality becomes your venture, Enugu State is not the location to do that business. That we will pursue you. We will make sure we'll bring you to justice. And that was why we put the robust security architecture across the state, working in collaboration with the security forces to ensure that Enugu is uncomfortable for anybody that plans criminality.
And moving on to the politics, the presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress (NDC), Peter Obi, and his running mate Rabiu Kwankwaso have met with some governorship candidates of the party as preparation intensifies for the 2027 general elections. The meeting held on Monday focused on the party's strategies and readiness ahead of the elections. In a statement posted on the party's verified X handle, the NDC said the leaders discussed coordinated campaign strategies aimed at securing victory for the party's candidates at various levels. The meeting was attended by governorship candidates including Ibrahim Kashim from Bauchi State, Shamsu Aliyu from Sokoto State, and Sanusi Kashim Ibrahim from Borno State. Also present were Buba Galadima, as well as NDC State Chairman from Kebbi and Sokoto State, Alhaji Mustafa Umar and Alhaji Bello Sani Yabu. The party said the meeting was part of efforts to strengthen its structures and ensure greater coordination among its candidates and leaders ahead of the 2027 polls. Away from that story, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has authorized branches in 20 universities to issue a 14-day ultimatum to their respective authorities over the non-implementation of the 2025 federal government ASU agreement. The decision was reached at the union's National Executive Council meeting held at the University of Abuja on Saturday and Sunday, August 8 and 9, 2026. In resolution signed by ASU President Christopher Piwuna, The union expressed concern over what it described as the inadequate implementation of the agreement. ASUU also accused the federal government of failing to release the necessary subvention required for the full implementation of the agreement. The affected institutions include Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, Lapai, University of Medical Sciences, Ondo, Gombe State University, Plateau State Universities, Bokos, Adekunle Ajasin University, Akumbwa, and Ambrose Ali University, Ikpoma. Others are Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology, Okitipupa, Abia State University, Uturum, University of Education and Entrepreneurship, Akampa, Emmanuel Alayande University of Education, Oyo, Kaduna State University, Aliko Dangote University of Science and Technology, Wudil, Northwest University, Kano, Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Imo State University, Owerri, Niger State University, University of Africa, Toru Orua, Bayelsa Medical University, and Taraba State University, Jalingo. ASUU directed the affected branches to commence industrial action if their respective ultimatum expires without satisfactory resolution of the issues. We now go on a short break. When we return, we bring you business and foreign news. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are listening to Top Stories on Ogama TV. Now to the rest of the news. On business, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) has dissolved the Board of Directors of Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company (KAEDC). The decision was contained in a regulatory order dated August 10, 2026 and signed by NEC Chairman Musliu Oseni and Commissioner for Legal Licensing and Compliance Dafe Akpaneye. NEC subsequently appointed an interim 7-member board to oversee the company during the transition period. The new board comprises Dr. Abdullahi Gaba, Engineer Francis U. Agoha, Mr. Aliu E. Aliu, Major General E. Ayamasaowe, retired, Mr. Ayodeji A. Balei, representing the Bureau of Public Enterprises, and Dr. Abubakar Omar Hashidu. NEC also appointed the incumbent Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Abubakar Umar Hashidu as Administrator for an initial 6-month period subject to review. The regulator said the decision followed what it described as prolonged regulatory and market defaults, inadequate investment, weak operational and commercial performance, insufficient assets relative to liabilities, and the absence of credible pathway towards sustainable recovery. NEC says the dissolution of the board takes immediate effect and that the Corporate Affairs Commission and other relevant stakeholders had been notified. Moving on to the foreign scene, the United States Department of State says it has revoked more than 175,000 visas held by foreign nationals as part of its continued immigration and visa vetting operations. The Trump administration said the affected individuals included people who violated the terms of their visas, committed crimes, defrauded Americans, encouraged violence, or were considered to pose national security concerns. According to the U.S. authorities, many of the visa revocations followed encounters with law enforcement agencies. The violations cited included assaults, driving under the influence, theft, and drug-related offenses. The Department of State also said some visas were revoked following allegations involving child abuse, sexual assault, reckless driving, fraud, and embezzlement. Several cases were highlighted by the U.S. government as examples of individuals whose visas were cancelled following serious criminal allegations. We now bring you highlights of the stories from the bulletin so far. In Enugu State, we brought to you that kidnappers of St. Joseph's Catholic Church worshippers in Inoyi Afa have been arrested as victims regain freedom. NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi Running mate Rabiu Kwankwaso meets governorship candidates ahead of 2026 elections. ASU gives 20 universities 14-day ultimatum over non-implementation of 2025 agreement with federal government. And on business, NEC dissolves Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company Board, appoints interim management team. On the foreign scene, United States revokes more than 175,000 visas following continued vetting of foreign nationals. And that's all on the news at this hour. For more updates and breaking news, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Facebook at Ogama TV, on Instagram at Ogama TV1, on X at Ogama TV, on YouTube at Ogama TV, and also visit our website at www.ogamatvnews.com. I am Chidiogo Asuke. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.
When you think of online TV and radio, broadcasting, media consultancy, event coverage, event management and planning, there's no better name than Ogama TV. But that's not all. We're also into photo studio and coverage, equipment rental, news blogging, fashion and pageantry. We are at number 5/21 Chime Avenue, beside Open Sheraton Restaurant, New Haven, Enugu. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, Twitter at Ogama TV, website www.ogamatv.com. You can also send us email at ogamatv@gmail.com. Ogama TV, your one-stop media solution.